Hey there, it's Jody Danon with my daughter Gabby, and we're back in the kitchen this week, prepared to whip up a fruit salsa for you today. And this fruit salsa, we're going to use red, white, and blue colors so that it's a perfect treat for the 4th of July holiday coming up this weekend. So, we are going to make this with strawberries, blueberries, and pears because we had some pears that are in the pantry or in the fridge that are getting a little past their due. But you could also use apples or any other fruit that you can think of that'd be white if you want to stick with the red, white, and blue theme. Otherwise, if you are making this in other times, it's really good with kiwis. It's good with, I've even used oranges. Any kind of fruit works for this fruit salsa. And if you haven't had fruit salsa before, you're missing out. So this is a super simple recipe that you can make easily at home, or even your kids can make it at home all by themselves. It's that easy. So Gabby's going to start by, what are you doing, Gab?
Just cutting the strawberries into little cubes.
Yep, we're just going to dice the fruit up nice and small so that when you dip the salsa, fruit salsa, it's bite-sized. So typically I serve fruit salsa with, I really like the Stacy's brand of pita chips, and they make a cinnamon sugar flavor. Now I was just at the store and they did not have the cinnamon sugar, so we're just using regular today, but any kind like that will do. You could also make your own by using tortilla shells, and you can put a little oil on it and sugar and cinnamon and bake them in your oven at 350 for, it doesn't take that long, maybe 3 minutes or so. Yeah, that's perfect. So you can bake them as well, cut that into triangles, and you can make your own cinnamon sugar pita chips at home really easily. So that's another option. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to peel the pears just so they don't have the skin on. Then we'll really get the white part of the red, white, and blue. I should have got a bowl to put my droppings or the peels in. So this recipe, there's a lot of different varieties out there. Some of them just use jelly as a sweetener. So if you want to go to a super simple method, you can do that. You can use any kind of jelly or jam. I've tried it with strawberry, I believe, and you can mix that with lemon or lime juice and the jelly just to thin it out a little bit, and then you just toss your fruit with that, and it can be as simple as that. This one uses brown sugar, just a little bit of brown sugar, and in the recipe I have on the website it uses lemon and lime, but today I don't have any lemons, so we're just going to use limes. So we're going to slice the fruit into those dice the fruit. Again, we're using the festive patriotic colors. You could use raspberries instead of strawberries, or what else is red, Gab? Watermelon?
Yeah,
Watermelon seems to be popular this time of the year. So we're just going to dice up the fruit. And we got to get out a perfectly sized Gabby. So if you guys have any questions while we're going along, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them if I can now or afterwards. And I'd love to know if you've tried fruit salsa before. Have you heard of it? And if so, if you made it. I think it's the perfect summer appetizer. That is light and refreshing, but tastes delicious. So how many strawberries did you cut up there, Gabby?
7.
7 strawberries. This is going to be 1 pear. And that's probably going to be plenty for what we need to make today. Obviously, you can add more fruit if you're making it for a larger group. You might want to cut up 2 pears and use more strawberries. And if you're really looking for simple to save time and not have to really chop fruit, you could use blueberries, raspberries, and what could be white that you don't have to cut? Even grapes. You might want to cut them in half, but you could use something like that.
Grapes aren't red, white, and blue.
I guess. I'm thinking of the lighter color, the green. Either way, then maybe you just have to cut one thing up instead of cutting more. So there's ways to get around having to chop up too much.
You can open this.
Sure.
It's taped on.
And you can give some of those a quick rinse. So you might be wondering how the pears are not going to brown, or if you use apples. What you're going to do, the lemon juice, we're using lime juice today. Adding the lime juice in there will stop the browning of the pears or the apples. So yeah, maybe just a couple more and then that should be good. So that is the benefit of using citrus fruit. Again, you don't have to use lemons or limes. You could use the pineapple juice. If you're using a can of pineapple for something else, you could use that juice. You could use mandarin orange juice, like the canned, or the little cups. My kids are big fans of those. You might have needed a bigger thing. Okay, put that in, and we forgot to get out.
Lots of blueberries.
Perfect. All right, so in a separate bowl, we're gonna mix up, and I'll let you squeeze the lime juice in there. You just need a teaspoon or two.
Squeeze this.
Maybe a tablespoon. Yep, you can give it a squeeze. We'll probably do 2 little limes. Is it juicy or not juicy?
Not that
Not
juicy.
juicy?
Was this a measurement?
Nah, it's not exact. Do that one, I'll squeeze one of them. So we're just gonna mix the lime juice with some brown sugar, and that will add, am I squeezing it all over your hands? I'll let you do it. Oh, you'll notice it if you have a cut, right?
Yep.
All right, maybe that's actually not so bad, but we already have it, so we'll use it. And then we're gonna add in about a teaspoon and a half of brown sugar.
A little extra.
Let's just do this. My sweet tooth daughter here, the fruit is also gonna be sweet. Over here, put that in. So that's 1 teaspoon and a half. I should have got a half. Do you want me to get a half out? You can estimate.
Yeah, it's about half.
All right. And you can give it a stir. So all we're doing is creating the sauce for a little juice that mainly helps give it a little extra flavor with the sweetness, but it also helps the fruit not go brown.
Can I pour it on?
Yep, you can pour it on. And then, if you can carefully give it a stir, sugar out of the
I
way.
should get in a bigger bowl.
Yeah, we could get another bowl to dump it into. You want that?
It's okay. It's not real good stirring, but
We didn't get big enough bowl. But that's only 1 pear, like 7 strawberries, and
probably like
a couple handfuls
20.
of blueberries.
20.
All right, and that's it. There you have your fruit salsa. If I tip it too much, it's going to tip over, but you can go ahead and try it, yeah. So you can use the Stacy's brown sugar chips are delicious with this. You dip it, and you have fruit salsa.
Get some. Here's some.
You can taste it if you want to adjust and add more lemon or lime juice. Yeah, they're not the
These
sweet
ones have
chips. Those aren't the sweet chips, so it won't be quite as good as with those.
Oh, it'll go.
Feel good? Enough sugar?
We'll just add more.
All right, so there you have it. That's how to make a super simple appetizer to bring to pass for this holiday weekend. Fruit salsa. If you have any questions, please let us know below. I'd love for you to follow us on Facebook or over at Pinterest at Create Kids Club. Or join us over at the website on the newsletter. I'll send out usually bi-weekly newsletters that have all the latest recipes. And if you ever have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.